How are you guys doing?
It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, I think
I haven't
Sunday.
seen anything in a while, but here we are.
Right, exactly. So I want to start with, and I mean this, 2020 has been a disaster, and it was really a lot of fun to watch like a feel-good family movie last night. So just want to throw that out there. I think people are really going to enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
Before I ask you some specific questions about the movie, I know that you guys have been getting asked a lot of the same stuff, so I want to throw some curveballs, but I promise you they're softballs. There's nothing hard-hitting here. I want to start with the first thing being, for each of you, is there a TV series you would love to guest star on?
Ooh, that's fun.
My dream was always to do Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I did it, and it was as fantastic as my wildest dreams. And I played a character that I've, like, my favorite comic character of all time, and I was really happy with how it worked out. So I feel like I've done my bucket list on that guy.
I'm gonna pick SNL, because then I would get to host, and I've never done it.
If I'm not mistaken, you were a writer on SNL, though.
I was writer for a year.
Right. Yeah, I can't even imagine what that was like. And by the way, that Curb is an amazing show, and I can't even imagine what that would have been like to work with Larry. Just, can't. What movie do you guys think you've seen the most?
Clue.
Oh gosh, wait, what movie was it? Spinal Tap.
Okay, great movies. My last, softball, if you will. Do you remember your first movie or TV show crush?
Oh yeah. Jason Bateman in Teen Wolf 2.
Steven Seagal.
I have so many things to say about that, but
yes, you should.
Which movie was it? Hard to Kill, or was it which of the 2-word titles or 3-word titles?
One. What's the Navy one? Under Siege.
Under Siege, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. I have so many things to say. Okay, let's jump into why I get to talk to you guys. When you guys signed on to do this was when Disney Plus, I believe, had only launched for like a little while. It had only been online for like 2-3 months when you guys agreed to do it. How much did you know about the service and what it was aiming to do when you signed on?
I have to say Oh, go ahead.
My before the creative got brought up, my agent's like, "You've got it, Disney. It's all about Disney Plus." It was already like, I guess an amazing. Everybody was very excited.
I hadn't heard anything, but only because I'm secretly 108 years old, so I didn't know about it, and I thought, what is this? I thought it was a web series. So I was on the way other side of this, and then I was told that it's the biggest thing on planet Earth, and I was like, I'd love to do it. I really thought it was going to be a web series.
That's so funny. Well, what's funny is when you guys made it, it obviously was a small service, but now it has like 70-something million subscribers. It's like, is it kind of refreshing for the two of you to have a movie coming out that is going to be in 70+ million homes and not really have to worry about like, what does it do opening weekend?
Yes, that is the benefit of streamers all the way. I do have to say, as someone who's had a lot of unlucky opening weekends, let's just put it that way, not unlucky, but like the nerves around that and how it impacts your business being seen in, something that's perceived as either a failure or a hit. Yeah, it's fantastic. We'll have a good idea. I mean, yeah, we're so lucky to be in a film like this coming out in this way. It takes the pressure off.
Jumping into a specific, or did you want to answer?
No, that was a great answer. I'll leave it at that.
For each of you, I am curious, what was it about the story and the script that said, I really want to do this? Or was it also just being part of a Disney family movie?
I've always wanted to play a witch. I'm very vocal about that. Isla's heard me say this 18 times today, but I want to play a witch. I still want to play a witch, but this is the closest I've ever gotten to it. And because there's spells and there's a wand and there's magic. But when my manager told me this movie, and she was like, you're going to want to do this. Like, this is the closest we're getting. So I begged my way into it.
Got it.
And for me, it was, I had a window that I could work where my husband wasn't working and I could bring the kids with me. It was in Boston. And I really liked, it was a female film, lady filmmaker, written by a woman, a lot of females in the story, and in the message was fantastic for, young kids. A lot of these fairy tales that we were told when we were young certainly aren't appropriate now, whether it be, the trope of the knight in shining armor, or the evil stepmother that's always a woman, and, all these domestic, beautiful princesses that are just sort of praised for being good and subservient. So it was like, wow, here we go. We're modernizing a fairy tale. And this is a film my family can watch. How exciting.
Yeah, something else that I really found refreshing about the movie is that it doesn't have your typical villain where someone's trying to get your powers, or it's just, it's just refreshing. You want to touch on that at all?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go. No, you really go. I just jumped in, but I had nothing to say. I was panicked.
I know, I was panicked too, and I just started. I don't have a lot to say about it, but I will say that I do think it's refreshing. I think it's nice that it's not like some big scary villain is coming to get us. I mean, in some cases, I guess Moira wants to take me back, but that's mostly for the good of not losing my powers. I will lose my powers if I stay there for too long. So I do think that, like, with every character, there is some good intention behind it, which I actually think is really cool for this type of a fairy tale. Usually there's always some villain, and it's always a woman. So it's nice to have a something.
Am I the villain? Am I the villain in this?
No, you're no, baby, you? No, there's no villain in you.
I'm just the miserable one. I'm the one that's still grieving my husband and trying to.
She's lost. She's a little lost, and she needs some help from her fairy godmother.
Yeah.
I am a little curious. How do you prep to use the wand in a movie like this? Are you rewatching Harry Potter movies and seeing how they did it? Like, what exactly is the prep for that?
What's funny is I think I did exactly that. I think I YouTubed like Harry Potter and how they use it. And then I was like, okay, just figure out your own thing. I might have copied it. I have no idea at this point, but I did get a sample wand to bring back to my hotel and use it. And I do feel like at one point I left it out and someone came in to bring room service one late night when I hadn't eaten anything. And I was like, I never explained the wand. And it feels very odd that a 36-year-old woman just has a wand sitting on her desk.
I think that's great, though.
Thank you.
For each of you, I've been talking to a lot of actors over the last number of months, and one of the questions I've been asking everyone, I want to ask you guys is, do you remember a day when you've worked on some project in the past that you were really nervous to film something, and why?
I was really nervous to film our opening scene actually on this. I felt like it was just that thing of like creating like a busy office with deadlines and an annoying boss, but also to kind of not step on the joke. And I just felt like the tone of the way we were introduced felt at odds with the rest of the story. It felt too heightened, and but anyway, we got there. I think it got edited. It works. Does it? The intro, our scene together, our first scene together?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, great. That I was nervous about. It's like, weirdly, because my character didn't really have a point of view. She was kind of reactionary and I just had to sort of keep getting information, but and set up exposition for her to continue giving a joke. And that's the tricky thing when you're acting in a scene where you're basically there as a tool for the other person to do something rather than having an active goal yourself. But that was the only scene in the movie that I was nervous about. Really, on this one, I felt like Jillian and I had a great rehearsal period of a week where we were in a hotel room and we had a laugh and we were just sort of talking about our voices and, improvising stuff. And so I felt really safe with her. I totally trusted Jillian right away. And I felt like we were going to have fun together. And I feel like we did, right, Jillian?
Yeah, we did. I will say that it was so nice to, like you said, be able to trust the other person you're working with, because you have no idea you know, you're spending months with this person. And so it was so nice to feel safe in that way. But I do feel very nervous and anxious often, especially on movie sets. If there's, you know, there was one scene where I'm eating the donuts and I'm telling her information and I'm kind of got a sugar high. So I'm telling her a bunch of stuff very quickly. And I think some of it got cut down, but it was longer. And there was so much information to get out at such a fast pace because I'd been eating these donuts. And that kind of thing makes me very nervous. So yeah, I think I was nervous before that scene in particular, I remember.